Hello, I'm Genevieve Wu. Welcome to Singapore Tonight. Heavy rainfall caused flash floods in several parts of Singapore this morning, including Orchard. Worst hit was Tanglin Mall. Sarah Gross with more.
Shoppers at Tanglin Mall probably weren't expecting it to rain indoors. The flash floods resulted in the mall's basement flooding. Authorities were caught by surprise. PUB says the extent of the flood at Tanglin Mall was something it had not seen in the last 25 years. Many stores had to close temporarily for cleanup.
We'll rescue all our stocks first, that's the first thing. So all the shops were actually flooded as well. Then they were closing down their gates as well.
The shop was flooded to about ankle level. And everyone was running around, the car park was flooded, the car is stuck. So everyone was frustrated, then confused.
Shoppers who had problems getting to their cars had to wait it out until they were given the green light to get to the car park.
We went down to the basement and queued to try and get out, but some other cars had turned around and come back down to the B3 level, so it was clear that it was stuck above. So we made sure we parked the car and got the children out before the level got any higher.
Floods hit a nearby car park. A car service company employee sent Channel News Asia this video of the car park at St. Regis. He said a resident whose car was stalled had called him for assistance. Elsewhere, other retail malls at Orchard Road had to deal with the aftermath of the flood.
It's been about a 2-hour cleanup here at Forum Shopping Mall. Now, this isn't the first time that this area has been affected with heavy rain, but some store employees I spoke to tell me that the flooding is worse this time around.
The last time it happened, it was actually more mild. We were still able to open the facility for the day. Today, of course, everything got submerged. That's why. So we had to close down. In fact, after the first time it happened, we had sandbags ready. And we did use those sandbags today, and then it didn't work. The water just went through it.
This is the second time. Yeah, so it's rather bad. So I hope that the management or whoever is the authorities can actually do something about that.
PUB says the rainfall Sunday morning was more intense than June last year when various parts of Orchard Road were flooded.
The National Water Agency, PUB, explained that the flash floods were caused by 2 bouts of heavy rainfall. Also present, Environmental and Water Resources Minister Vivian Balakrishnan, who outlined 5 key areas that he will focus on in dealing with floods in Singapore. Speaking after inspecting the flood areas at Tanglin Mall, Dr. Balakrishnan said one of his priorities now is to ensure safety is maintained along drains. Saifu Bari Ismail with more.
I want to make
Dr. Balakrishnan stressed there's no compromising safety. He said railings will be installed when needed and drains covered in the short term so that no one gets hurt. On Wednesday, a 15-year-old teenager died when he fell into an uncovered swollen drain.
Personally, I think that our weather has changed, and I am actually psychologically prepared for it to get worse. You're dealing with nature and you're dealing with the weather. You have to be prepared that there's a limit to human engineering and what we can deliver. But having said that, let us make sure we have done the best we can. And within those limits, then cope with whatever else nature throws at us.
Dr. Balakrishnan said because of the changing weather conditions, his ministry will need to review planning norms, which includes designing of drainage systems. He added another priority is to ensure that roads are passable even during heavy rainfall. He also intends to ensure that buildings are better prepared to cope with the occurrence of floods. During heavy rainfall last year, the basement of Tesarina condominium was flooded. Now, the management here has since made improvements like installing this flood barrier. When the Bukit Timah Canal flooded its banks this morning, a siren was activated alerting residents to drive their cars out of the basement, and the flood barrier was closed.
The primary strategy for us has really been to lobby for improvements to Bukit Timah Canal and also for the raising of Wilby Road. So we believe that most of the problem will be solved.
PUB is currently making drainage improvement works to the Bukit Timah Canal. Works to deepen the canal will start by the end of this year.
Our viewers have been following our flood updates on our Facebook page, Channel News Asia Connect, and this is just a sampling of the discussion. Some of our viewers contributed updates on water levels where they and their friends were. Others who were there shared their own video footage. Mimi Jansen added that she hopes there won't be a repeat of the recent tragedy when a teenager drowned after falling into a swollen drain after a heavy downpour. Some, like Ruby Neo, lamented the fresh round of flooding. But there were others who were of the opinion that people complained too much. One took a dig at the crowds that gathered to see the flooded shopping centres for themselves. Some wondered if the blame would fall on authorities again, while others asked if litterbugs and global warming did not play a part as well. A well-timed question, perhaps, considering that it is World Environment Day today. China's